1,500 meters above the sea level, this hill station was once a summer resort of the erstwhile British government in South India. Sprawling tea plantations, picture book towns, winding lanes and holiday facilities make this place a popular summer resort. Hello, I'm Aditi Singh and I am in the captivating hills of Munnar. One of the most popular hill stations in India, Munnar is situated at the confluence of three mountain streams. A town in the Western Ghats, Munnar is set within the rolling hills dotted with tea plantations established in the 19th century. After 3 hours of drive from Cochin, I just want to soak myself in comfort and beauty. Which is why I chose to stay at the Panoramic Getaway, because this hotel is strategically structured to give every room the best possible view. So I'm going to head in fast to check out the panoramic view. The Panoramic Getaway has drawn its inspiration for its name from the beautiful and scenic landscape that is visible from the resort. The property combines nature's beauty with lavish infrastructure and warm hospitality to ensure that the guest can live in comfort amidst the Shola forests. Panoramic Getaway, as the name suggests, has a spectacular view on the outside. Nestled in the beautiful hills of Munnar, the rooms here give an excellent view of the sunset. And something more important and interesting to know is that this is the only place in Munnar that has a heated swimming pool. So what can be more beautiful than watching the sunset while you swim? And I'm finally here at the best place in this hotel on the rooftop. On my side, I have the heated swimming pool I was talking about. So I'm going to sit in solitude for a while and make this evening even more special, soaking the uninterrupted view of the valley. Settled amidst the rainforest, the Panoramic Getaway has a mix of single bedroom and luxurious suites, which offer comfortable stay for guests along with a host of facilities and activities. The hotel, which began its operations a year ago, is owned and operated by the first-generation entrepreneur, Mrs. Sona Bennett.
When we started doing this property, we had this in mind that Munnar doesn't have any luxury properties. We've been here for 18 years now and there's nothing. So we wanted to make a beautiful place here, and that was our idea of building this place.
Munnar is an area which lacks any of these luxury hotels, and we will be entering into a new kind of market segment where there is hardly any competition. So that inspired us to do something like this here, and we are getting a fantastic response for that.
We have 5 different categories of rooms. We start with a deluxe double room. That is the base category room we have. Then we have the family rooms. Then we have the third category is the executive suites. Then we have the panoramic suite. That is our second best room in the hotel. So that is only for honeymooners. And then we have the pavilion suite, the best in the hotel.
Luxury exudes from all the rooms here at the Panoramic Getaway. There are rooms available in 5 categories, of which 3 are high-end suites. The star attraction here is undoubtedly the Pavilion Suite. It's a one-of-its-kind property and definitely the largest in Munnar. Spread across 1,500 square feet, it houses a heated private pool, an outdoor shower and a twin-seater spa for a water massage experience. All of this with a direct view of the valley below with miles and miles of rolling hills. Well, Well, since you don't go on a holiday every day, I decided to live life the king size and make this holiday a truly luxurious affair, which is why I opted for the pavilion that comes with a jacuzzi, and the spectacular view, of course, is just like a cherry on the cake.
We studied the terrain very carefully before we started the construction. So we found that making a building in this particular fashion will give all the guests that view of the sunset. So we put sunset as our center of attraction.
Lose yourself in an expansive space which sits within a vibrant hill range at an altitude of 4,000 feet. You can sit back and relax amidst the beautiful rainforest and abundant tea plantations while sipping on a cup of tea. You can also wander further to discover Munnar's secrets and indulge in a blend of adventure, history and nature. There's something about being outside, the wind in your hair and the sights and sounds of life in the countryside. That's right, you don't always have to wear a helmet. While an experience like this is hard to get in a bustling city, I thought to seize the opportunity as I had the perfect scenery, fresh cool breeze. Perhaps what was missing was a bicycle. To get the real feel of being in a hill station, it's important that you feel the cool breeze brushing across your face and the scent of the mist. And it's necessary for that you go for a cycling ride in the quaint lanes of Munnar. Cycling in the hills was nothing like cycling in the city. Racing uphill extinguished all my thoughts. It seemed like the world closed down around my body, bike and breath. Everything else was gone. Vast expanse of tea plantations, pristine hills and mountains and exotic flora and fauna in its forests. Yes, Munnar has all this and a lot more. Breathtakingly beautiful, it's a true haven of peace and tranquility. If you ask me, in my opinion, it's the most ideal tourist destination in God's own country. It's my second day in Munnar and I'm going to kickstart it with the visit to the tea gardens of Munnar. But I had to wake up pretty early though for this because the weather conditions here allow you to have a perfect view only without rains, and that happens before afternoon. Also, this off-road gypsy will be taking me to the tea gardens because the road to there is very uneven. But I think it's going to be pretty exciting because open from either side, I'm hoping as I go uphill, the morning aroma and the cool breeze will make it even more refreshing. There is no better place to sip on a refreshing cup of tea than the hills of Kolukamalai. Situated at a height of about 7,900 feet above sea level, Kolukamalai is home to the highest tea plantations in the world. The world's highest tea estate may also be the hardest to reach. You have the option of a walk or an off-road drive in a 4x4 to get to the estate. Access to the estate is up a winding dirt track with a panoramic view of the hills and the valleys right until you get to the estate. Right now, I'm at the world's highest tea plantation estate called Kolukamalai in Munnar. One of its kind, the aim of this tea plantation is actually to showcase the growth of more than a centuries old tea plantations in this region. And if you actually go and have a visit inside, which I'm dying to do, you will know how laborious the tea processing really is. The tea estate was built somewhere around the 1930s. While the original colonial owners are long gone, their legacy has been frozen in time. In the factory, workers used the same equipment that was brought up from England in between the 30s and the 50s. Tea aficionados claim that the organic tea produced at Kolukamalai the old-fashioned way is incomparable to the tea which is mass-produced in most factories. It uses traditional techniques even today that serve as a draw for tea enthusiasts. Orthodox tea making is a 7-step process that includes withering, rolling, sieving, fermenting, drying, fiber extraction and finally grading. Wow, so the leaves are absolutely ready and dried in just about 8 hours. So it turns out that after 3 hours of fermentation, the tea leaves come here for drying, and then for 25 minutes it stays in there at 200 Fahrenheit, and when it comes out, it's absolutely dry and ready to be poured in your cup of tea. And the aroma is amazing. The rolling acres of tea are an experience in itself for the visitors. Take a lovely stroll on the pathways in the plantations. With the incredible views and a factory tour that feels like you've gone back in time, Kolukamalai Tea Estate is definitely one of the most incredible places to be in Munnar. Munnar is not just a valley of captivating beauty, but it's also a valley of hope and possibilities. Some come here for a getaway, but some come here and never go away. And I'm talking about one such person who came here years ago with her parents on a holiday. But little did she know back then that destiny had a different plan for her at Munnar. I'm talking about Nimi Sunil Kumar, an award-winning cookbook author, a culinary teacher, a freelance writer. Well, the list is endless. But how did she get here? Well, I'm here to talk to her and find that out. Nimi Sunil Kumar, cookbook author and food blogger, is a name food aficionados are familiar with. Her first book, The Lip-Smacking Dishes of Kerala, is a compilation of some of Kerala's most sought-after recipes with photographs and preparation notes, which is selected as the 3rd best local cuisine book in the world from 187 countries around the world at the Government World Cookbook Awards 2013, which was held in Beijing, China. Nimi, first of all, thank you so much for letting me into your kitchen. But before we get you to start cooking, I want to know, how did you land up in Munnar?
Okay, I was a tourist in Munnar like 13 years back.
Okay.
So I came as a tourist to Munnar with my family. So and stayed in one of the hotels. And while we were checking out of the hotel, my husband's father saw me and arranged the marriage.
Instantly. So that's how you came to Munnar. And how did you discover your flair for cooking?
When you have the best critic in your house,
Yeah.
so you will learn to cook.
And the critic was your husband. And your cooking classes are one of the top attractions in Munnar for all the tourists. So what are you teaching me today?
Okay, so today I have a fruit which is very common in Munnar. It's called the tree tomato. So I'll be showing you a fish curry with 3 tomatoes.
Wow, I've never had fish curry in 3 tomatoes.
Okay, this tomato is quite tangy in flavor.
Okay.
So we'll be using, normally in Kerala cuisine we use kokum or
Yeah,
darjeeling.
I've heard of.
But instead of that I'm using now 3 tomatoes.
And that's your secret to the recipe?
It's a twist.
Fine, let's go ahead. Tell me, how do you start?
So the basic oil that we use in Kerala cuisine is more of coconut oil.
Coconut oil, yes. So I'm sure you've learned this with experimentation and everything throughout the years, right?
Yes.
So when you ended up writing your book for which you received an award, were you already through all the experiments and everything, or as you were writing you realized, okay, I must include this recipe, that recipe?
Okay, so the first book came out in 2009. So the first book was more like, it had more of an advanced as well as the basic. So I didn't have much of an idea of like what to include. I just wanted to treasure the recipes.
Yeah.
So some of the authentic recipes.
Yeah.
Now the first book that came out, it was in 2009, but the award that I won was for my second book, second edition of my first book.
And you write only about authentic Kerala cuisine?
No, I do write on other other recipes too, but just on my blog.
Okay.
But the books are basically just on Kerala cuisine.
Alright, so you have a blog, you've written a book, you've published it, you've received an award for it, you're a homemaker, you're a freelance writer, and you're also a teacher. How do you manage all of that just by yourself?
I basically feel that when you have a passion for something, it just works out.
It just works out. It
Yeah.
just happens.
Yeah, it just happens.
Things just unfold and work for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess the
Now the
coconut
oil is
heated up.
Heated up. Now we have to shallow fry these.
Also, that reminds me that you've just published your latest book,
Yes.
which is the 4 o'clock temptation.
Yes.
So what is that about?
4 o'clock, I took out that name just because of there is a Malayalam word which says that Nalamani. Nalamani means 4 o'clock. Palaharanga means like snacks. So I just wanted to include that.
So everyone in South India usually makes it a point to have their snacks. At 4 o'clock. That's even more important than breakfast for them, is it?
I mean, tea time is quite important.
Quite
I mean,
important. So when you went on to win this award for your book, I mean, did you ever foresee it? Did you see that coming? Did you expect that it would ever happen? Because you sat to write the book for your own personal record of recipes, right?
Yes.
So how did this turn into an award-winning bookseller?
It was a bit of a craze when I actually started. I was a freelance writer for a few years and then moved on to like, I mean, I had a passion for cooking but never thought that I would be so serious in cooking. One fine day I was just writing down a recipe and then my husband told, okay, if you're so interested in recipes, why don't you write a cookbook?
And you thought he was joking.
He was joking actually, so I just took it as, okay fine, I'll write a cookbook. That's how I started on my book. It was actually a lesson for me. Like, I never knew that there was so much of a difficulty in bringing out a book.
Yeah. And you managed that all by yourself.
Yes.
So obviously, I'm sure that's going to be difficult, but it went on to get an award.
Yes. So the first cookbook, I sold like 2,000 copies just on my blog and just 2 shops in Munnar.
Okay.
So I had no other like marketing
Strategy.
Nothing.
Wow. But now it's all over the place. This brings me to another point, that you're also a dietitian.
Yeah.
Wow. So did you get trained in that, or you learned it all by yourself?
Okay, so I've had a course on nutrition, but I am basically an electronics and communication graduate. So
God, I mean, what more is hidden out there? I mean, everything. You've done that also.
I'm also a food stylist and food photographer.
Wow.
So
How did you learn that?
Self-taught.
I mean, that's a true example of if the desire to do something is big enough, you can go
I'm
miles to
still
pursue.
learning. Even now, I'm still learning. I won't say that I'm a pro and everything,
But the fact that it won an award.
yeah, I know. It first won the best in India.
Okay.
And then went on to compete against 187 countries and came out to be in the final 7 and then last year in Beijing, I went for the award function.
Yeah.
And then it was declared as the third best in the local cuisine book in the world.
Wow.
So now the oil is quite hot.
Yeah.
Mustard seeds. Now these are fenugreek seeds or methi seeds.
This is ginger and garlic.
It's better to use small onions than large onions because it's much more tastier.
Okay, I didn't know that. The variety of things that you do, from being a teacher to a freelance writer to managing your own blogs. So how often do you go to your blog and answer all the queries and the questions? That must be pretty time consuming and demanding.
It is time consuming, but the basic thing is that I try to include, once the kids are like off to bed, then I start on my blog.
Finally, the fish is out. And I can taste everything that you'd put, and I'm not lying. I can taste the coconut flavor, the tangy flavor that you were talking about, and just how you rightly pointed out that the Kashmir chili doesn't make it too spicy, but you can feel it, feel the flavor, exactly like that. I'm hoping that once I get back and I try this, I know it's not going to turn out the same way as it did right now, but I hope I can somewhere get the similar taste. Thank you so much, Nimi, on that note, for having me here. I have to say that, people usually move to sort of big cities from small cities, as they say, to achieve big dreams in life. But you've reached out to the whole world and sharing your secrets to these wonderful recipes. I think only thing that you need is a desire to pursue big dreams. So thank you so much. It was quite an inspiration talking to you.
You're welcome.